Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and today I'd like to share a fun read aloud with you of the book, The Cloud Book. The story, The Cloud Book, was written in 1975 by Tomie DePaola, and it's all about clouds. And some of it is fiction and some of it is nonfiction, and I hope you really enjoy it. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. The Cloud Book. You'll see there's some interesting characters in this story. Just one little cloud, a few more. Almost any time you go outside and look up at the sky, you can see clouds. True. Clouds are little drops of water or ice hanging in the upper atmosphere high above the earth. And if you could hop on a bird and fly way up, you would see the whole earth covered with clouds. So clouds are made of ice and water, and if you could fly very high, you would see that the entire earth is covered in clouds. True, except for riding a bird. There are many different kinds of clouds. Some are high up, some are in the middle, and some are low down in the sky. The three main kinds are called cirrus, cumulus, and stratus clouds. You can tell them apart by the way they look and by where they are in the sky. Cirrus clouds are white and feathery, and they are the highest clouds. They are sometimes called mare's tails. Now, there's three types of clouds, and the first one that they're talking about are called cirrus, and sometimes they're called mare's tails. A mare is another word for a horse, and you can see that they are very high up and they're wispy, like little horse tails. Cumulus clouds are puffy and look like cauliflowers. They also have flat bottoms. They are always changing shape and are low down in the sky. So you can see that they look like he's selling fresh cauliflower. This is a cloud. This is a cauliflower. So very similar, especially if you're a cumulus cloud. Stratus clouds are low also. They look like wide blankets of gray and are sometimes called high fogs. Drizzle or snow flurries may fall from them. So this one, the clouds are almost hidden in this gray blanket. They don't look like the cauliflower clouds that are cumulus. But this kind of cloud that looks like a blanket almost always brings precipitation. There are also many other kinds of clouds. They have longer names because they look like cirrus, cumulus, or stratus clouds mixed together in pairs. Cirrocumulus clouds are small, fleecy masses that are hard to see. They are very high up in the sky. Some people call them mackerel sky. The French call them moutons, which means sheep. So sometimes the cirro and the cumulus clouds get together and they make little clouds that are very high up in the sky, and some people call them mackerel, which is a type of fish because it looks scaly. And the French call them moutons because that is the French word for sheep. Cirrostratus clouds are high up too. They cover the sky in thin, milky white sheets. When you look at the sun and moon through them, you can see a halo. Cirrostratus clouds are sometimes called bedsheet clouds. So you can see these cirrostratus are very high up, but they're wispy like the cirro clouds. Altostratus and altocumulus clouds are found in the middle of the sky. Altostratus clouds look like sheets of gray or blue, and rain or snow may fall from them. Altocumulus clouds look like cirrocumulus clouds, but the puffs are much larger. They are gray or whitish, and if you walk underneath them, you might feel some drizzle or snow flurries. Nimbostratus, stratocumulus, and cumulonimbus clouds are low down in the sky. Steady rain or snow falls from nimbostratus clouds. They are easy to see because they are heavy and dark. Excuse me. So you can see there's clouds that look like sheets, clouds that look like other clouds but poofier, clouds that are dark and low. They all look different, but also similar. Stratocumulus clouds look like rolls of blackish or bluish clouds, but they are not really rain clouds. They are often seen in the winter. Cumulonimbus clouds are the kind of clouds you see during a thunderstorm. They look like mountains of very tall cumulus clouds. So you can see stratocumulus clouds in the winter and cumulonimbus clouds during a thunderstorm, and they build like mountains of clouds. Fog is a cloud made of water droplets that form at ground level. It can come right into your front yard, especially if you live in a mountain. Up in the mountains, people give special names to clouds. One is called a banner cloud. This is one. Looks like it's a little banner flying. Another is called the boa cloud, like a snake, and it's wrapping around the mountain. So fog can come into your front yard. In mountains, there's banner clouds and boa clouds. And it says the boa is not a cloud. This boa is not a cloud. It's a snake. In olden days, people looked at the clouds and saw things. The Native Americans saw thunderbirds in dark storm clouds. The ancient Greeks believed that Hermes, the messenger of the gods, who was also the wind, once stole the sun's cattle, which were clouds. And in Labrador, which is way up north, people believed that fog was caused by a white bear who drank too much water and burst. So we could see that clouds have always been something that people have paid attention to. The Native Americans saw thunderbirds in storm clouds. The Greeks made up stories about the wind stealing the clouds, the sheep from the sun. And in Labrador, they believe that fog comes from a bear that drank too much and exploded. Wow. So many things to think about. People saw giants, animals, ships, and castles in the clouds too. Can you see all those things? Giants and castles and animals. I see some bunnies and some kitties and ships, a boat sailing. How many of you have looked at the clouds and seen pictures up there? I know I have. I feel like I see hearts a lot. And cats. There are some sayings about clouds that help tell about the weather. For farmers, when the fog goes up the mountain hoppin', then the rain comes down the mountains droppin'. So if you see the clouds jumping up the mountains, you're going to get ready for rain. For travelers, evening red and morning gray set the traveler on his way. Evening gray and morning red bring down rain upon his head. So before we had news and internet to look at, people looked at signs in the way the weather looked. and made predictions based on what they saw. And often they were right. If there are large clouds in the morning, people sometimes say, in the morning, mountains, in the evening, fountains. So people say that if they see a lot of clouds in the morning, there's going to be lots of rain in the evening. And sailors know that mackerel scales and mare's tails make lofty ships carry low sails. So when you see those mare's tails and mackerel scales that we learned about earlier in the book, it means that there's going to be some rough weather. There are funny sayings too. If people don't seem to know what they're doing, other people say, he's in a fog, or she has her head in the clouds. And now here's a very silly cloud story. Ta-da! We're going to turn the page. So people who are not super focused are often said to be in a fog or with their head in the clouds. It means they're out there. They're way up there. And are you ready for a cloud story? A super silly cloud story. The cloud enters the room. The cloud fills the room. The cloud leaves the room. The room. What he did. So, you see, clouds are fun and silly and very interesting, say the bunnies, cats, and dogs. That silly cloud knocking over the flowers. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the story, The Cloud Book, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. And remember, throughout the month of June, every Wednesday and Friday, I will be reading a new Tomie DePaola story because he's one of my favorite authors. If you love Tomie DePaola, please tune in Wednesdays and Fridays, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.